Types of climate. What is climate? Climate is more than the average state of the atmosphere because a complete climate description should also include variations and extremes to accurately portray the total character of an area. The most important elements in climate descriptions are temperature and precipitation inasmuch as they have the greatest influence on people and their activities and also have as important impact on the distribution of vegetation and the development of soils. Climate classification. Perhaps the first attempt at climate classification was made by the ancient Greeks, who divided each hemisphere into 3 zones, torrid, temperate, and frigid. Since the beginning of the 20th century, many climate classification schemes have been devised. The classification of climates is the product of human ingenuity and its value is determined largely by its intended use. Climate control. Order exists in the distribution of climate elements and the pattern of climates is not by chance. The world's climate pattern reflects a regular and dependable operation of the major climate controls. What are the major controls of climate? The major control of climate are, latitude or the variations in the receipt of solar energy and temperature differences are largely a function of latitude. 2. Land, water influence or marine climates are generally mild, while continental climates are typically much more extreme. 3. Geographic position and prevailing winds or the moderating effect of water is more pronounced along the windward side of a continent. 4. Mountains and highlands or mountain barriers prevent maritime air masses from reaching far inland, trigger taporographic rainfall, and where they are extensive, create their own climatic regions. 5. Ocean currents or poleward-moving currents cause air temperatures to be warmer than would be expected. And 6. Pressure and wind systems or the world distribution of precipitation is closely related to the distribution of Earth's major pressure and wind systems. Type of climate, situated along the equator, the wet tropics, F.M. Constant high temperatures and year-round rainfall combine to produce the most luxuriant vegetation in climatic realm, the tropical rainforest. Temperatures in these regions usually average 25 degrees Celsius, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, or more each month and the daily temperature variations characteristically greatly exceed seasonal differences. Precipitation in F&M climates is normally from 175 to 250 centimeters, 68 to 98 inches, per year and is more variable than temperature, both seasonally and from place to place. Thermally induced convection coupled with convergence along the intertropical convergence zone, ITCZ, leads to widespread ascent of the warm, humid, unstable air and ideal conditions for precipitation. Type B climate. Dry regions of the world cover about 30% of Earth's land area. Other than their meager yearly rainfall, the most characteristic feature of dry climates is that precipitation is very unreliable. Climatologists define a dry climate as one in which the yearly precipitation is less than the potential water loss by evaporation. To define the boundary between dry and humid climates, the Köppen classification uses formulas that involve 3 variables: 1. Average annual precipitation, 2. Average annual temperature, and 3. Seasonal distribution of precipitation. Type C climate. Humid middle latitude climates with mild winters, C climates, occur where the average temperature of the coldest month is less than 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit, but above -3 degrees Celsius, 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Several C climate subgroups exist. Type D climate. Humid continental climates with severe winters, D climates, experience severe winters. The average temperature of the coldest month is -3 degrees Celsius, 27 degrees Fahrenheit, or below, and the average temperature of the warmest month exceeds 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The greatest annual temperature ranges on Earth occur here. Type E climate. Polar climates, ET.F, are those in which the mean temperature of the warmest month is below 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Annual temperature ranges are extreme, with the lowest annual means on the planet. Although polar climates are classified as humid, precipitation is generally meager, with many non-marine stations receiving less than 25 centimeters, 10 inches, annually. Polar climates. Two types of polar climates are recognized. Found almost exclusively in North America. The tundra climate, ET, marked by the 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit, summer isotherm at its equatorward limit, is a treeless region of grasses, sedges, mosses, and lichens with permanently frozen subsoil, called permafrost. The ice-cap climate, F, does not have a single monthly mean above 0 degrees Celsius. Consequently, the growth of vegetation is prohibited, and the landscape is one of permanent ice and snow. Highland climate. Highland climates are characterized by a great diversity of climatic conditions over a small area. In North America, highland climates characterize the Rockies, Sierra Nevada, Cascades, and the mountains and interior plateaus of Mexico. Although the best-known climatic effects of an increased altitude are lower temperatures, greater precipitation due to orographic lifting is also common. Variety and changeability best describe highland climates. Because atmospheric conditions fluctuate with altitude and exposure to the sun's rays, a nearly limitless variety of local climates occur in mountainous regions.